just going to say the quiet part out loud that everybody's thinking. Chemosh is hot. That transformation by GadgetBot was pure fire. And I'm not saying I have any sort of alien fetish or anything like that. I'm just saying that if I was to get abducted tonight by aliens, I would much rather it be the GadgetBot version of Chemosh versus the original. Okay? Comment down below if you agree. But let's dive right into this character reveal, because this was a really interesting transformation with her, because there was a lot of elements that changed. And if we go to her backstory, we can learn a little bit more about her and what brought about a lot of these changes in her character design. So, Supreme Commander Chemosh was born in the Bellatrix solar system. She was raised on the planet Nemosh, where her father, Exonemus, trained the warrior female Greys in the dark arts of combat. Her experience spans the conquering of neighboring systems in search of NiFe, and although she's respected among the ranks, she prefers to be feared. Her suit is a combination of the core elements of her sun, Bellatrix, and NiFe, as well as dark magic. Her superpower is telepathy, which she uses to manipulate minds and matter. She was known to the ancient humans as Hecate. The Grey Alliance rose to power in large part due to her heedless nature. And one thing I want to focus on here is her telepathy powers, is because that's why she has these guns that kind of float. And if you've been playing the beta or watching any video, that's where her attack is coming from. Even though she's trained in combat, she's using these for her main attack because she's a mid-range attack character. But that doesn't mean in the future she can't be a melee character as well. We're going to have different variants of all of these characters. That's what's going to make the game so much fun as it evolves, is the more we dive into their backstories, the more movesets we can bring into the game, and you guys can start to really pick and choose your favorite teams. It's going to be amazing. So let's just dive right in and see what GadgetBot was working with. So we have the original Chemosh here, okay? And as we scroll down, this is what they came back with automatically. In fact, actually, for the first time right now, it kind of just popped into my head. In this image right here, she kind of reminds me of Sindel from Mortal Kombat. Remember? Because she would kind of do the similar pose like this, and she's obviously purple and black, and she has her super long gray hair. So really giving off vibes of like sexy, alien, powerful, in charge, don't mess with me. And we like that. And we wanted to move forward with that. But we did want to make sure she really gave off that gray alien vibe. And so this is what GadgetBot came back with on the first pass. And these both look very cool. However, we thought that the variant on the right was a little too much like an alien. Honestly, it gives me major Independence Day vibes when Will Smith opens up the cockpit and says, "Welcome to Earth," and punches the alien in the face. This is the alien. This is what it looks like. So we wanted to go a little less down super alien route and make her a bit more humanoid. And so we went more towards the left, towards A. And you're going to basically see a lot of those features there start to come to life as we move into sketch of round 2. And the more that GadgetBot dialed her in, the faster this character came together. In fact, I would say between Archon and Chemosh, these two characters got done the quickest. We were just in sync so much with her and Archon that these characters just got done super fast. But as we start to zoom in here, you can see a little bit more detail was brought into her suit, right? She has her weapons that are behind her, kind of like the original. She has her weapons being held in the air. This Chemosh has the same thing. Her body was kind of dialed in a bit more. We started giving her more like claws for her hands and her feet. And her arms, they played with the fact of having some bone separation in there, just really making her look like a gray. And as far as the hair, we weren't quite sure what we wanted to do with her hair yet. Is it going to be actual hair? Is it going to be tentacles? What is it going to be? So that was something we wanted to play with. But this different head variation, I personally, immediately, I didn't like it because it reminded me of Quark from Star Trek. And the last thing I want to think about is this dude's face when I'm looking at this character. So it was a good variant, but we decided, no, we like this version better. It just looks a lot sleeker, in my opinion. So that's what we went with, and we said, okay, GadgetBot, expand upon that idea, and this is what we got. Things just got tighter and sharper here. I'll go back and forth between these. Not a lot changed here. The hair changed a little bit, right? You can see it's still more like tentacles going down her sides there. We tightened up her head. We didn't make it as wide. We made it a little thinner, actually. Brought some purple in on the crescent moon on her forehead, which I thought looked really cool. And then her armor just got buffed out a bit more as well. So you guys can see that as we go back and forth. And then as we moved into round 4, that's when the color details started to come in. And so we really wanted to play around with the design of her suit. And so you can see it was divided up more into like these sashes on the front, on the back here. And then the armor on her forearms. I mean, guys, look at this. This just looks so friggin' cool. Over here, like, this was like the idea. Like, okay, the armor is going to wrap around her really tight. But I mean, look at that. It just protects that split in her forearm right there. Her hands are drawn more into claws. And then even on her torso, you can see that a belt was added to really bring her armor to life here. And her shoulders too, we thought, you know what? She is a powerful warrior, so she needs to have like really good armor when she's in battle, that she is trained in combat. So this is a full character that can use her powers of telepathy, but also can land and go fight hand-to-hand combat as well. And so we said, okay, looking good, GadgetBot. Let's bring in some different color variations. And this is what we got. And it was really hard to choose which color variant to go forward with. And obviously, we can go back and we can do different colors and different variants and all kinds of fun stuff in the future, but we had to pick one. I got outvoted here. I actually really liked D. I thought bringing in this bit of green was just so cool. And I know there were some other people that agreed with me, but, you know, majority rules, and we ended up going with C. And I'm not upset that we went with C, because C still looks pretty badass. And I gotta be honest, when we went with C, and then they took it and they fine-tuned it a bit more, I fell in love. I was like, okay, guys, you were right. C looked incredible. I mean, look how much more life GadgetBot just brought into her dress that drapes down by her legs. Even from back here, like, it just went from like, okay, yeah, she has this cool dress thing going on, and then bam, look at all those swirls and everything. And it's so important to have that because clearly she's floating in the air. And when the character's floating in the air, they look really weird if they're just kind of like in the air sitting there. At least with the way her armor is designed, the dress part of her armor can flow right as she's standing there. So she can stand very still and still look really cool, right? And so we decided, okay, this is the final design. Let's punch in the rest of the detail, and this is what we got. I mean, just going from here to here, some of the biggest changes, well, there wasn't a ton of final touches. In pure GadgetBot form, what they did is they kind of punched everything in, and then, of course, hid that alien symbol right there on her chest. Chemosh is just a gorgeous character. She really came to life. And then we put her in the music video. And guys, again, I know y'all were thinking it in the beginning of the video. Chemosh looks good. And don't be upset. This is a no judgment zone. Be sure to subscribe, tap that like button, and we'll see you in the next character reveal.